Yeah.
So, A. B. The Reformers taught that a church is wherever the Eucharist
Yes.
are given by elders and the gospel is preached. So by that definition, that's the definition I take from the Reformers. And then I don't believe in transubstantiation. N.T. Wright says this about the word transubstantiation. He says it's a clunky medieval term for Jesus is really here. It's medieval metaphysics. You know what I mean? Medieval metaphysics are not. People trying to explain how something is real. From a medieval standpoint, it's not going to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're talking real presence. That's the crux of it. It's real presence.
Totally. So does it forensically become the literal body and blood of Christ? No, but mystically, yes, it does. Because because that's what cleanses you from your sin, and this is what heals you from your diseases, and this is what brings grace. It's the body of Jesus, and Jesus says, "Unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood." So we are mystically saying we're mystically cultivating or recultivating our commitments to Christ every time we take it, right? Lord, I'm eating your flesh again. I'm eating all of you again. God, I want the whole meal. And Lord, I need the power to eat this meal, and I need the power to digest this meal, because in my own, left to my own devices, I manipulate you, Jesus, and I manipulate life, and I manipulate others, and I manipulate myself, and I try to get my own, have my own way. And God, I need your power to live that life that you've called me to live. And so I'm eating of your flesh again. It's a fresh commitment, and it's a fresh empowering. And I think it's incredibly mystical.
Really
and as Pentecostals, I mean, there's a guy by the name of Dr. Chris Green that's written extensively on this. But Pentecostals, I think, are starting to really dig back into this because we're mystical.
100%.
At the end of the day,
Yes. At the crux, I agree.
Totally. So we're the ones that should be championing Eucharistic anything.
Completely agree.
So man, that's kind of where my take.
Where do you sit with that? Because we've had very robust discussions around this. Where's your head at?
I haven't landed, but I've submitted to the authority of the church that I belong to, and for such a time as that I exist at that church.
Yeah,
I adhere to the mission.
I respect that.
But jury's still out for me. And thank you for sharing freely on that and for going on record. Let me ask, speaking of mystical, this is a crazy pivot. Do you think that the Mount of Transfiguration moment with Jesus, Moses, and Elijah happened at the same time as when Moses went to Mount Sinai and Elijah was visited by God? Did they all happen at the exact same time?
Yeah, I've heard that one. Like Yahweh's outside of time, and he visits and when God visits, he's visiting everything at the same. I don't know. I mean,
for those that don't know about this, like obviously Jesus was transfigured and he was glowing.
Yeah.
Both Elijah and Moses were also glowing after their encounters.
Yeah.
Is that right? Elijah was glowing too?
Yeah.
Moses was for sure.
I mean, sure.
Sick. Happened.
You've heard it here first.
Yeah. I'm open to that idea. Why not? It's a pretty cool concept.
Yeah, it's called lore.
I like the lore.
Yeah, I like the lore too.
Yeah, you gotta like the lore.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna if you're gonna get Christianity, you gotta get into the lore. That's why Mike Heiser is just such a G, because you get into all of that Genesis lore, the Nephilim lore.
Oh, we love the Nephilim.
Oh,
no one loves the Nephilim more than my 71-year-old mother.
Exactly.
Really?
Loves it.
Really?
Yeah, loves it. It's epic.
So this is a creatives podcast. How do you think the church should treat or steward, using a word, creatives? How, like, you're creative, you're an enigma though because you're creative, but also not free flowing. La classic creative. You're a quite intellectual.
You don't know that. I am
could
la.
be.
I'm very la.
Are you?
Oh, I'm la as the day is la.
No, yeah, okay. So yeah, okay. I would agree with that actually from our brief interactions. But you're also calculated, thoughtful, considered, intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think churches should steward la creatives, or people who say, for example, they sit around for 3 years, I'm just waiting for God to tell me how to do it or what to do or how to or whatever. Yeah. Is that a church problem or is that an individual problem? And how do we help creatives actually? Because what I find is that creatives talk about doing things, but they never do things, and so we don't see any activation. So what would you say?
Well, I think that every church needs to create a legal firewall around their creatives, have them sign contracts to steal their IP in perpetuity. You know what I mean? So everything you ever do
As a volunteer.
Yep, absolutely. No, even paid staff. So if you ever write anything, the church actually owns it. If you ever have a creative thought,
Are you being serious?
if you ever design, if you open Canva and you open, you know what I mean, and all of your Instagram,
It is not yours.
is actually now the church's IP. That's what I think you should do. Never let them own anything. The church should own everything.
Yeah.
And if you sent a text on church time, we actually own that IP as
And what's
well.
considered church time in your aura?
9 to 5.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, 9 to 5.
Clock
Anything
on,
between
clock
9 to
out.
5.
Yeah.
On weekends, obviously,
Or Sundays.
from the time the sun sets on Saturday night until the sun sets on Sunday night, all of that time, it belongs to the church. Yeah. So personally, yes. So exploit them.
Yes.
Make sure it's in paper. And then manipulate them.
Yeah,
use,
like
use a lot
emotional,
of
spiritual
language.
abuse.
Use language like, I can't believe you get to do this. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, just get them. And when they kick back, and if they get frustrated about you stealing all of, you owning all their IP, then what you should do
Kick
is
them out.
No, you don't kick them out.
No, you keep them.
No, you ostracize them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Stop talking to them for like 2 weeks and
Turn the community against them.
shun them.
Yes.
For like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It works like a charm. Then they'll be like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And then you'll be like, "Well, I think you need to repent, don't you?" And they'll be like, they'll be so lonely that they'll do it, you know. And then they'll be back in. Maybe don't roster them for a week. That's a good one. Tell them that the platform is something that needs to be earned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's a privilege.
It's a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And so privileges revoked. What do you think
And
about
what's
that?
the final straw? What do you think is the nail in the coffin for that to get them activated?
To get them activated, you have to tell them that you met that girl over there on the corner. I think that she likes you. I could talk to her for you. Always be having different, as a pastor, you should be having different conversations and controlling people's relationships and use them as carrot. So the guy over here, you're like, I'll talk to this girl, and they talk to the girl. Do not date him. Do not date him. God's calling you to holiness right now. Do not date him. But hang out with him. You should go for her. I think she likes you.
Yeah,
You should
keep the
go for her.
tension.
And then but make sure that you're always wedging in between the relationships, but controlling them. Nobody is ever allowed to date or court unless you sign off on it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's super important.
It's a great way to end it, I think.
Yeah, I think so, because Cam's got a conference to get to tonight.
Yeah.
I do have one final question. You can go serious or serious, whatever you want to do.
I know which way it's going.
What? Yeah. We're kind of out of it. I'm kind of glad we went there though. When writing songs, coming back to this a little bit, when writing worship songs, your stance is it should always just reflect our worship to God. It should, like, what I'm referring to is songs about my emotions, worship songs about how I feel. Where do you sit with that? And do they have their place?